The equipment update is here in Rise of Kingdoms, and with it, a few secret changes that we need to review. Stick around in this video for everything you need to know about the patch that just landed. Hello my friends and welcome back. I'm Chisgule Gaming, and in this video, we are reviewing the latest patch that hit the game, which brings to us equipment presets. You can see them off to the side of the screen. Here, I can switch between different preset loadouts, and bada boom, I am so hyped for this. Being able to switch gear between commanders, I mean, look, I've got to play around a little bit more in depth with this, but I'm probably going to have a couple presets here for Canyon, for Ark of Osiris, for KvK open field battling. I'm quite confident that on my garrison commanders for my city, I'm going to have a special set of gear picked out in advance, so I'm not freaking out trying to figure out, like, is it this piece or that piece? What's really the best? All that's done in advance. I'd recommend that you create some of those sets as well, so that when you're in a hurry, you have access to what you need. Particularly, make sure you've got a build and also some equipment set up ready to go for a city garrison. Big deal. I think that's going to save you a lot of time when you're freaking out about getting rallied. And trust me, even the most calm folks freak out a little bit when they're getting rallied. And only when you've been rallied like 28 times like Cortex, you kind of chill out about all that. So the other thing I want to show you that's in this set of screens, okay, and to access those presets, you just tap into the equipment for any commander. You can see there's a menu in the upper right over here for equipment. You tap that and bada boom, you're cooking with gas. You're ready to go with some of those presets. The thing I want to show you that is in that commander tab, actually, and was not listed as a patch note change, is when you can actually use commanders. This is a big deal for KvK Seasons 1 through 3, because, I mean, those seasons were dominated now, in Season 3 especially, by commanders like Zenobia, just absolutely obliterating, because people migrate back with extremely powerful accounts and just crush everybody. And although you can still migrate back with those commanders, now, however, they are listed as Season of Conquest Kingdoms, in which some of these commanders can be used. In fact, oh boy, if we get a look here, some of the very popular commanders that you used to get access to for KvK Season 3, including Ramses and Guan and Artemisia, right? Attila and Takeda. All of these are now considered Season of Conquest commanders, which means, let me tell you, Attila has definitely seen his day come and go, being a premier rally commander in Rise of Kingdoms. He is no longer one of the best, not even in a super young kingdom. Now, look, for cities, he's a go-to and will be for, I don't know, a very, very long time, until perhaps they change Charlemagne. But the only commanders that now unlock over time, it looks like, in those early kingdoms for use in KvKs are going to be Alexander the Great with Constantine, and Saladin, of course, paired with Khan. Also, you'll have Edward and Tamaris as a combo that becomes available to you before the Season of Conquest. So 140 days of age is the kingdom age that you have to exceed in order to be able to use any of those commanders. They've actually accelerated the Mightiest Governor cycle for all of those commanders, so I think you only get like 2 Mightiest Governors of each of them, so that by the time KvK Season 2 rolls around, I think you've got access to a lot of that stuff. It's pretty fast-paced these days for KvK Seasons 1 through 3, and honestly, those seasons of KvK are very fun, but I can't imagine now a world in which you would migrate back to a very young kingdom to try to make your account look hyper-powered. I mean, yes, your equipment will be a big deal, and there's definitely an argument that should be made here that the equipment also needs a little bit of a restriction. For instance, you know, should you really be able to use Season of Conquest accessories in one of those early KvKs? They will make a difference. So I guess the idea that you can migrate back to a young kingdom with a powerful count does still exist, but at least the metagame for commanders is more level now. So is going back to really young kingdoms going to be a thing of the future? I'm not so sure that it will be. Someone asked in a comment in one of my videos, like, Chisgule, how could you recommend going to an old kingdom? everybody is so powerful relative to you, and that is true. Everybody is more powerful relative to you if you migrate to an old kingdom. The question becomes, what do you want to be your Rise of Kingdoms experience? Do you want to be relatively powerful compared to people in your kingdom? Or do you want your kingdom to be relatively powerful compared to other kingdoms? Because I can tell you, the older kingdoms are now battling against very young kingdoms in the Season of Conquest. I mean, if we just go even get a look at some of the KvKs that are happening, I'm pretty sure that if you look around, you'll find a Season of Conquest KvK where, like, kingdoms less than, 10, the first 10 kingdoms in the game are battling against 1,800 kingdoms. I mean, even in this one, 1,810 is one of the highest kingdom ages. 1,860 is battling against 1,410. I mean, one kingdom is much older than the other. What do you think the average commander strength is in a 1,410 kingdom? And that's not a complaint that I'm offering here. It's just an observation of the reality of how KvK matching works now. If really old kingdoms get paired against really young kingdoms, then there's definitely some advantage in being in a kingdom that's been established for a while, that has had a lot of opportunity to build up commanders, as long as they are also super active. And I think that's the biggest thing about young kingdoms, is that they just generally have a higher number of active players. So you just got to do a lot of research before you migrate, all right? And speaking of which, if you're looking for a kingdom to migrate to, our Discord, discord.gg/Chisgule, is linked in the description of every single video. There's a jumper group channel. There's a migration group channel. You can find a group for sure. Okay, there is one more curiosity that we'll talk about today, and this might just be a bug. In fact, I think it is. But now in the Light and Darkness season of KvK, I think it's supposed to show which camps are the light camp and which camps are the dark camp, except these kingdoms are not going into Light and Darkness KvK. They're going into KvK Season 2. So, is there no more KvK Season 2? And you jump right into Light versus Darkness? Or is this just a visual bug and for whatever reason KvK Season 2 indicators for Light and Darkness are showing up? I'm not entirely sure, and I guess we'll all find out over the coming days exactly how that looks. If I were betting on this, though, I would just bet that this is maybe a bug for KvK Season 2, and they're showing Light and Darkness markers, even though they shouldn't show any markers at all. Now, jumping back to the topic of equipment, I found no new equipment yet in-game. So it looks like we've still got all the same equipment we've had for quite some time now as our options. Nothing new, secret, or sneaky went in through this patch, or, I mean, if there is something new, then it's sneaky because it's not listed here. There is a new city skin showing. That city skin is going to give a cool 5% cav attack at the cost of 5% infantry defense. Although this rare exhibit city skin does look cool, it does sort of look museum-y, although, it also, a lot of these city skins with the cav health, they got a similar sort of vibe to them with the rounded top. I'm not excited about cav attack. Attack is arguably the least valuable stat now for just about any commander. So this city skin, I think, is a miss. Maybe we'll be able to get it for free. In fact, I think if you pay like 7,000 gems, that's going to be my guess for this style of event. I made that guess a couple weeks ago. I'm going to stick with it, that there may be an upgradable tier for this event like we've seen in the past in order to gain access to this. So you should probably be doing that anyways. In fact, you definitely should be doing that anyways. Save up your 7,000 gems if that does, just in case that does become a thing. But this city skin won't be the reason to do that event. There are also some new name tags. We like to get a look for that to see if there's any indications for new events. This is the only one, Ever-Changing World. This is coming with the Echoes of a Civilization bundle. So we would expect there to be a new bundle with the museum event that's just around the corner. And on the topic of cosmetics for this museum event, I have to say, this new cosmetic is a 10 out of 10. Obviously I don't wear a dinosaur bone on my head, but that is a pretty sweet frame. Like, I don't know what you put inside that frame. I don't think it's a face to match with the dinosaur head, but those dinosaur bones, I think that looks pretty cool. All right, I think that's a pretty cool frame. I like that that's on its way into the game. We also have the Ancient City fireworks theme from the Shining Sands bundle. I can't remember if we've already seen that, and we're already in Lucerne Scrolls Volume 10, which is kind of a cool-looking avatar frame, quite frankly. I kind of like that one. Now, one thing you may remember that I talked about in a previous video is that the patch notes said that Ark of Osiris rewards were going to change, and they were boosting the lower tier rewards at the cost of upper tier participation rewards. And I went and I got a look here in the Ark of Osiris, and I didn't see a change in the number of gold sculptures. So if we go to the rules, we go to the rewards. These rewards might have changed, but the gold heads are the same, and to me, that's kind of all that matters. Yeah, of course, gems are nice, speed ups are nice. That's all important stuff, but as long as the gold heads are still there, I'm feeling pretty good, and it's still 10 gold heads for a 10k plus contribution as an individual. This all looks fine to me. If there's something I missed here, definitely let me know in the comments. Here are the rewards if you lose: 5, 4, and 3 sculptures for the different tiers of participation. And it does look like they said, by the way, let's get a closer look at these notes. I believe they said they changed the 0 to 2,999 bracket. Governors with 0 to 2,999 will also get additional rewards, but general participation rewards are reduced. Maybe they haven't changed the rewards yet in the rules. They're just not listed correctly. I have gone in this morning and updated the game, so I'm maybe a little bit confused around this. I don't see any rewards for 0 to 2,999 points, right? Yeah, I don't know. Leave a comment down below. We may have to just wait till this weekend when Ark of Osiris happens, and we see what people end up getting for their rewards. One thing that will be relevant to everyone who's in KvK and sleeps through reset when KvK actually opens and you've got like a terrible rank in Lost Canyon is the fact that you can now challenge a wider range of governors. And yes, this is way better. You used to only be able to punch up like 150 rank, but now it looks like you can punch up 300 rank from where I'm sitting right now on my farm. Wow, 300 rank. That's outstanding. So you can definitely rank up a good bit faster in Lost Canyon. That's a big deal. And the folks that are at the very top actually have a good bit more to kind of worry about now. You could get punched out of the top 100 at the end of the season, which would kind of suck, to be honest. But that is totally a possibility. Oh, man. Gross. And if we go and look at a different account that I've got, just to see one that's a little bit higher ranked, okay, just to get a better understanding of the range here, we jump over to my restart, and we saw that 300 punch-up range on my farm that is, 3,000 ranks. If we just look at my restart, however, that's now ranked 730, the rank that I can punch up is still like 150 plus, which is better than I think it was before. This seems pretty good. Yeah, I mean, it's about a 200 punch-up range. So you can really gain a lot of rank really quickly to arrive at the place that you're probably supposed to be at, or, I mean, you'll get knocked out really quickly now and bumped down pretty far. Here's a few other things you should be on the lookout for. In about 2 weeks, those new events are going to arrive. We, again, predicted a while ago that there's going to be a 7,000 gem event, that you should save your gems just in case. I give that advice for just about every time there's something coming in the future and that possibility exists. There's usually like really great rewards on the other end of that. And I suppose one other thing that will be relevant to an extremely small number of governors is that if you win the Ark of Osiris League, you now can gain access to a limited edition banner, a flag. And that flag has a little number that apparently is going to show up based on the number of times that you're named the champion. Wow. So, gosh, if you're in it for the cosmetics, now the league champions can go and get that league champion title one more time to increase up that number. Oh, jeez. Yeah, no, people will go for that. If you enjoyed this video, throw a like on here and consider subscribing for those daily Rise of Kingdoms videos designed to help you get value, smash your enemies, and bring you the latest and greatest news as soon as it lands. If there's anything else that's in this patch that we missed, let us know down below in the comments what other stuff we should be talking about, and I'll be happy to cover that in a future video. And until next time, you have fun smashing the kingdom.